Ever wondered why the king of the underworld chose a flower goddess? Persephone's story isn't just about pomegranates and kidnapping. It's a tale of transformation, power, and unexpected love that changed both the world above and below forever. Before her days as queen of the underworld, Persephone lived a charmed life in eternal springtime. As daughter of Zeus and Demeter, she spent her days dancing through meadows with nymph companions, weaving flower crowns, and causing blooms to burst forth wherever her feet touched the earth. Known then as Kor, meaning simply the maiden, she had a special gift. Plants would spring to life at her mere presence. Her mother Demeter, the goddess of agriculture, kept her sheltered and protected, creating a perfect paradise where her daughter could nurture her connection to the natural world. But this idyllic existence, while beautiful, was also limiting. Persephone's true potential lay dormant, like a seed waiting for the right conditions to grow into something far more powerful than anyone expected. Let's talk about Hades for a moment. Imagine being the CEO of the biggest company in existence, but your office is in the darkest basement and nobody ever wants to grab coffee with you. That was basically Hades' life. While his brothers Zeus and Poseidon got all the cool parties and worship up above, Hades kept the massive operation of the underworld running smoothly, dealing with countless souls and maintaining cosmic order. But running Death's domain can get pretty lonely. Even the other gods avoided him at their fancy Olympian gatherings. Despite his wealth and power, he did own all the gems and precious metals under the earth after all. Hades felt the ache of isolation. He watched the comings and goings of shades, ruling fairly, but feeling disconnected from the warmth and vitality of life above. Now, here's where Zeus shows his talent for divine matchmaking, though his methods were questionable at best. Zeus, seeing both his brother's loneliness and his daughter's untapped potential, decided to play celestial Cupid. He knew Hades had been watching Persephone from afar, captivated by her vitality and grace. So Zeus, being Zeus, hatched a plan worthy of a cosmic reality show. He deliberately planted a stunning narcissus flower, Persephone's favorite, in a meadow she frequented. But this wasn't just any flower, it was enchanted to catch her attention and keep her separated from her nymph companions. Zeus even made sure Demeter was distracted with duties elsewhere, knowing she'd never approve of his scheme. It was a perfectly orchestrated moment that would change the fate of both the upper and lower worlds forever. While most versions of the myth focus on Persephone's beauty, Hades saw something far more intriguing in the young goddess. Her ability to bring life from the earth wasn't just a pretty party trick. It was raw, fundamental power over the cycle of life itself. Think about it. Hades managed death, but Persephone could create life with just a touch. He recognized in her a perfect counterbalance to his own abilities. Where his realm dealt with endings, she represented beginnings. Her potential for growth and transformation mirrored the souls in his domain waiting to be reborn. Plus, Persephone had inherited her mother's strength and her father's commanding presence, though these traits lay dormant beneath her gentle exterior. Hades wasn't just seeking a pretty face for his palace. He was drawn to a goddess whose powers could complement and complete his own. When Demeter discovered her beloved daughter missing, her reaction shook the world, literally. The goddess of harvest transformed from a nurturing mother into an unstoppable force of nature. She abandoned her divine duties, letting crops wither and fields turn barren as she searched every corner of the earth. Imagine a mother's panic turned up to divine proportions. Where she walked, the ground cracked with grief, and where she wept, nothing would grow. The mortal world faced its first winter as Demeter's anguish manifested in withered crops and frozen soil. She wandered disguised as an old woman, stopping at every town and village, asking about her daughter. Even Zeus himself started to worry as humanity faced starvation. The once bountiful earth became a reflection of Demeter's broken heart, teaching both gods and mortals a harsh lesson about the connection between divine emotions and earthly survival. Let's dive into one of mythology's most debated moments, the famous pomegranate scene. Here's where things get interesting. When Hermes arrived to bring Persephone back to the surface world, Hades didn't argue or fight. Instead, He offered Persephone a simple choice in the form of a pomegranate. Now, as an immortal goddess, Persephone would have known exactly what eating food from the underworld meant. She wasn't some naive girl who accidentally ate those 6 seeds. She was making a conscious decision. Think about it. After experiencing real power and independence in the underworld, did she really want to go back to just being the maiden picking flowers? Those 6 seeds represented her first truly independent choice, transforming her from Demeter's sheltered daughter into a queen in her own right. When Persephone took her place as queen of the underworld, she didn't just redecorate, she revolutionized the whole operation. The once gloomy realm began to show signs of unexpected beauty, with crystal gardens sprouting in dark corners and luminous flowers blooming in the fields of asphodel. But her impact went way beyond aesthetics. Persephone brought a fresh perspective to judging souls, adding mercy to justice where appropriate. She became known as a compassionate queen who could relate to both the living and the dead. Under her influence, the underworld transformed from a dreaded final destination into a place of rest and renewal. She even established the Eleusinian mysteries, teaching mortals that death wasn't an end but a transformation. The once lonely palace became a place where even the Furies would stop for tea, and Hades found himself hosting more divine visitors than ever before. The 6-month split wasn't just a convenient way to settle a divine family dispute, it created a powerful cycle that shaped our world. When Persephone spends her time above ground, Demeter's joy brings spring and summer, with abundant harvests and flourishing life. But when Persephone returns to her role as queen of the underworld, her mother's sadness ushers in autumn and winter, giving the earth necessary rest. This arrangement actually gave Persephone something unique among the gods, 2 distinct but equally important roles that mirror the natural cycle of death and rebirth. In the underworld, she guides souls through their darkest moments, while above, she helps create new life. It's a perfect balance that shows how endings and beginnings are all part of the same great cycle. Let's explore how Persephone grew into her role as queen of the underworld. While everyone knows her as the goddess who brings spring, her powers over death became equally impressive. She learned to command the Furies, guide souls through their final journey, and even bend the rules of death itself. Just ask Orpheus and Eurydice. Her unique position gave her influence over both life and death, making her one of the most powerful deities in the Greek pantheon. When mortals prayed to her, they'd leave offerings of both flowers and pomegranates, acknowledging her dual nature. She could curse the wicked with eternal torment, or grant blessed souls a peaceful rest in Elysium. The once innocent flower goddess had bloomed into something far more complex, a queen who understood that death and life were 2 sides of the same divine coin. Here's something you might find surprising. In all of Greek mythology, Hades and Persephone had the most stable marriage among the gods. While Zeus was chasing mortals and Aphrodite was juggling multiple affairs, these 2 built something remarkable. Hades, unlike other gods, never strayed from his queen. He shared his power equally with Persephone, making her a true partner in ruling the underworld. Together, they transformed the realm of the dead into a well-organized kingdom where justice and mercy worked hand in hand. Their relationship evolved from that dramatic beginning into a partnership based on mutual respect, shared responsibility, and genuine affection. They complemented each other perfectly. His steadfast nature balanced her vibrant energy, while her warmth softened his stern reputation. Thanks for exploring this fascinating tale of love, power, and transformation in the Greek underworld. If you enjoyed uncovering the deeper meaning behind Persephone's story, hit that like button and subscribe for more mythological mysteries. Share with fellow mythology enthusiasts.